As you all know, we talked about Replica last week and the prospect of AI voices and how you can use these to actually make your NPCs actually play audio files that equate to them having conversations so they can interact with yourself. And you can pre-create these, but you can script them to say whatever you want because they don't base the construction of these audio sentences on words. They're based on phonemes, which is the sounds that we make to construct or to pronounce letters and combinations into words. So instead of 26 letters of the alphabet, you end up with the equivalent of phonemes or noises. An example of which is if we take the word going, as I'm going over there, you've got the G, the O, the I, and then the NG at the end is an sound. When you construct those sounds together, the way we speak, they sort of merge into one, but there are three distinct sounds, and they usually equate to the syllables in a word, but not always. So, for example, A, E, I, O, U, they're the standard vowels, but the A could be pronounced A, or any variation. E particularly can be pronounced as E or E or So there's various sounds that can be associated with one single letter depending on the context. And the trick of AI is to work out how to construct them together seamlessly into words from the component parts. The only thing that everything struggles on right now is that it's hard to get accurate intonation into the voice. You can duplicate and construct sentences, but you can't put the human animation into a recorded AI voice that you'd think we would be able to. For example, when we ask a question, we tend to raise the pitch of the last word. When we're making a statement, we tend to put the pitch down at the end of the sentence. The munt goes downwards. And if you analyze a question and an answer, you'll see that pattern form in pretty much everything, no matter what the language. There's a tendency to go upwards when you want a response, and a tendency to close the sentence down when you actually reduce it and lower the pitch. So you'd expect the full stop there. So that's an introduction to it. Now let's have some practical applications and such, and give you a little bit of an introduction. So this will give you the whiz-bang stuff that they'll advertise in their promotional video. Just need to see that you can see the black screen so far. Yep, okay. Hopefully you'll hear the audio. We did test it earlier. It should be okay. Let's go.
To be overrun. Fall back to the woods. The Dryads have our backs. Watch yourself.
Let's move!
Gotta wait.
Like, seriously.
Come on. Take it down.
You may enter.
Howdy, boys.
Need to just grab a link to give you guys. Give me a second.
And when you sign up, make sure you add Zoo's email address.
No, here's the link. There's the link for you guys to sign up. If you sign up with that link, you will get 30 minutes of free audio time to actually play with. So you can have a play around with this without it costing you anything. The software is free.
I
Pay
should
for
get my link.
No, you shouldn't. This was the deal on the tutorial, so you can put your link in. So, yeah.
No.
If you get a referral link from them, so when you recommend somebody, it gives you 33 minutes and it gives whoever gives you the link 33 minutes. So it's a quid pro quo thing. Just click on that link and you'll get into the program and be able to try it. Now, how it works is bring up the interface. There you go. So when you load it up, that's what you'll see. We go to projects and you'll see I've got 4 projects already made. I'm going to quickly play you some of this and then we'll go through how I constructed it, and then I've got a little bit of a game for us to play in the final 10 or 15 minutes where we're going to try and put our own little story together based on a few of you being certain characters, and I'm going to put a scenario to you. You're going to tell me how you respond. I'm going to type it into the voice synthesizer-y thing, and we're going to hear the outcome before the end of the session. So to play some of this to you, each of these lines are actor parts. So the first thing you do is assign actors. We'll come to that. Then this second part here, can you see my cursor, by the way, just to make sure?
Yeah, we can see what you're highlighting.
Yeah. The default there, on some of these, you'll get different types of tone to the conversation. So you can have this guy respond despondently, neutrally, or sarcastically. And similarly with some of the female voices as well, but not every voice. Then you simply type your sentence, your words, what you want this person to say in here, and it will play the whole thing through as a conversation. The trick is that not all words get translated properly. As an example, what was it yesterday? The word machines, quite a simple word, M-A-C-H-I-N-E. Phoneme wise, it's got M-A-Sh-I-N. But the guy that was the voice that I was creating yesterday couldn't pronounce it as machine. It kept pronouncing it as machine, M-A-S-H-I-N, not the more traditional M-A-C-H and then the "-ine" at the end. So it got it completely wrong. You can then fool it and make it say it correctly by breaking the word machine into 2 words. The word M-A for ma, and then the second word, you'd probably put S-H-E-E-N to make it pronounce sheen. And when it pronounces the 2 together, you'll usually get somewhere close to what you want. So some of the trick of this is to actually phrase your wording correctly here. If you have done all you can with playing around with the spelling or the order, then there are some other alterations you can do on each of these. We'll come to that shortly. So we'll just play through this and you'll get an idea of what I created.
They're made out of meat.
Meat.
Meat. They're made out of meat.
Meat?
There's no doubt about it. We picked several from different parts of the planet. Took them aboard our Raycon vessels. Probed them all the way through. They're completely meat.
That's impossible. What about the radio signals? The messages to the stars?
They use the radio waves to talk. But the signals don't come from them. The signals come from machines.
So who made the machines? That's who we want to contact.
They made the machines. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Meat made the machines.
That's ridiculous. How can meat make a machine? You're asking me to believe in sentient meat.
I'm not asking you, I'm telling you. These creatures are the only sentient race in the sector, and they're made out of meat.
Maybe they're like the Orphalete. A carbon-based intelligence that goes through a meat stage.
Nope. They're born meat and they die meat. We studied them for several of their lifespans, which didn't take too long. Do you have any idea the lifespan of meat?
Spare me. Okay, maybe they're only part meat. You know, like the Weddily. A meathead with an electron plasma brain inside.
Nope, we thought of that. Since they do have meat heads like the Weddily. But I told you we probed them. They're meat all the way through.
So there you go. You got an idea of the variations and hopefully some of the limitations. Some of that sounded natural, but there's some distinct weird ways it pronounces certain words. Now that's the same across any AI or anything voice orientated that records voice and creates them. Every program I've ever seen suffers from the same problem. This one has got the closest to making it more natural for game use, not necessarily for creating a promotional video of some other genre, but for games, this is what these people do. They are trying to provide a way of all of given this given all normal, not just the area of professional developers with lots of money to spend. This is within the price range of a normal person kind of thing. So how do we do it? Let's go and actually create a quick project. We go back to the projects tab on the left here, and top right is new project. We're going to give it a name. So this is the Sinespace soap opera. We can give it a description, but we don't need to. So we go to new project. There's our project. We will enter into that project. Now, wants us to either create a new scene or a new character. The best way is to create the characters first. It just makes the process easier. So we're now going to audition some characters. The first character I want is, let's see who's going to volunteer to this. Who doesn't mind joining in? I need 4 people.
I can join.
Who was that?
Ham, wasn't it?
Wait.
Ham. Okay. So Major Ham, a fibber, and we're going to cast him now. But now we've got to give Ham a voice. And we've got a lot to choose from. Now, this is where we can see some of the ways you get around the deadpan voice and making it more animated. It depends which core voice actor that you pick in the first place. Now, I'll give you an example of a few of these. We'll just flick through the first 4 or 5. So Agatha.
Well, how marvelous. A cake made of ice cream and poppies. Whatever will you create for me next? Why did you have to go and die, you silly old fool? I have nothing left. And
Okay, that's an example of Agatha. Now we've got Amber.
Hi, I'm Amber. I have an American accent, and I'm great for voiceovers. It is not intended to substitute for professional medical.
And Annabelle.
How about you sit yourself down here and make yourself comfortable? I'll go fetch you a mug of ale and a...
I'll explain to you the accents. That's a Scottish accent. And we've got...
Yes. Well, one might think you're needlessly throwing yourself into battle
English, by the way.
when you could instead.
Eva.
Captain, 5 unknown ships have just appeared 41 clicks from our location.
And that's Gideon on DC's Legends of Tomorrow, I'm sure, but a British computer-y type.
They are approaching.
Axorian.
Cower before me, mortal.
And I think Axorian is who I'm going to pick for Ham. This is
suits Ham.
cast. So we've casted Ham. Should appear there. There we go. We're going to create another character. This time I want a female character. Any volunteers?
Cindy.
That was hardly a volunteer.
I'm volunteering her.
So Cindy, are you okay with this? Yeah. So we're going to call this one Agatha Bolero. And she's going to be a showgirl.
Sorry, I was in the kitchen. I heard my name.
You're Agatha Bolero, Cindy, and you're a showgirl.
You're a
Okay.
showgirl called. Bro.
Am I supposed to dictate?
Not yet. No, you just need to give us a response that we're going to type into the AI program and then make the voice say what you wanted. But we're going to construct a story with 3 or 4 of you interacting with each other.
So I'm just reading text?
You just got to tell us in the chat, like type an answer to something in the chat, that's all. But we need to pick your voice.
How about you sit yourself down?
No,
Captain.
that was that. I'm just flicking through and finding the female voice.
Oh, that's cute. Come on. A bunch of us are heading to Artie's.
I don't think that's the showgirl, unless anybody else wants to interject and say, yeah, that one. Emily.
A soul grew weary and began.
No.
But unfortunately, I don't care about.
No.
The Black Soulstone.
No. But as you can see, there's quite a lot to go through.
I think it was the second one after Agatha.
Agatha. All right, we'll go with Agatha.
The second one after it.
Amber.
Hi, I'm Amber. I have
That one?
Yep.
Think so.
Yep. So we got that one cast. Couple more. Next volunteer, a male volunteer, or somebody volunteers somebody else. Don't be shy.
Inside arm talk, or does it affect his recording?
He doesn't have to talk. He's just got to type something in the chat. Nobody's actually got to talk.
Well, if no one else is going to do it, I don't mind. Oh, no, actually, I nominate Brad.
Can I go twice?
Yeah.
No.
I nominate Brad. Yeah, there you go, Brad. He's accepted the
Call
nomination.
him. We've got to call him Captain Bradley.
Yeah.
Cast. So this is a piratey voice. Let's drop down to the bottom and pick some here we haven't heard yet. Hammond.
It was simple. Given that I had access to the facility after hours.
No. Ethar.
My master is pleased with your...
No.
My name is Jack, and I'm perfect for when you need a deep southern voice. So
No.
What do you think about...
Pirate. We want a pirate. Sure, there's a Scottish guy in here somewhere that might be piratey.
My doggy is so smart. He can sit and shake hands and roll over.
Mimi, when did they record your voice?
We must get back to the keep by nightfall.
Oh, that's Jon Snow. Ish.
Yeah.
Listen, you don't want Vinny to pay you a visit.
In one swift move, the king leaped.
Please no. Spare me, and I will tell you everything you want to know.
Me could be a pirate. Steal.
Roger,
All right,
Brad
listen
wants
now.
Roger.
Pardon?
Brad wants Roger.
Was there a Roger?
Yeah,
I haven't got...
further up. Roger Beater.
No, that's Ranger.
Oh, yeah.
This one?
We cannot waste time with these arguments.
The Jon Snow one.
Ranger,
Are
he
you
said, yeah.
listening?
He
An
wants
army of...
Ranger.
Right.
Okay. So Brad's Ranger.
Right. So now another female. So whoever.
Mimi.
Mimi.
Yeah, Mimi.
What's Mimi going to be? What's she type of person she going to be? What does she do? Stay silent, it appears.
Bio.
Madam Mimi.
She's a clairvoyant called Madam Mimi.
Yeah.
All righty. So we've got a cast, but we need the voice. So Madam Mimi, what's Mimi going to sound like? Right.
She reads the tarot cards.
Hello, my name is Yasmina. I'm great at playing young thief.
No. Tony, Thornton, Thomas. Tina.
My name is Tina. I've been told I have a seductive voice, and others say I sound strong and authoritative, but
Either way, I would be great.
Some people consider me a villain.
Cool Whip.
Ravenna, I don't think you understand.
No, I don't think you understand either. Sure one, Sal. Ruby?
Hey there, handsome. You looking for some of that sweet stuff? Jim!
Definitely are.
Sounds like Kay.
Kay drunk. I didn't say that.
This global privacy policy describes the types of personal data we collect through our payment.
That's Mimi.
Is that? Okay, there's Mimi. So we've got our major cast characters. We'll start a new scene. This will be how we met. And the description is, this is when the fabulous four singing acrobats first met. Right? So, let's think. So, Major Ham is sitting in his office one day, pondering. What does he say? Ham? This is the part where you make up something.
Oh.
You could say something like, I wonder if the captain's coming over today.
All right. Okay.
So type your response in the chat. Anyone who wants to nominate this as the most stupidest tutorial session we've ever done can say so now.
Well, the thing is that the outcome of it is actually really good. I think this is really useful.
Wonder if the captain is bringing me. Oh, Simon's bringing the milk today. Wonder if Simon's bringing the milk today. Okay, now, first thing we can do with that is audition it to see what it sounds like. We've got on this particular character, we've got 3 different styles. So we're starting on the top one, which is hatred. So this voice is designed for aggressive talk, rage, sinister, or hatred. So it would usually be the part of an enemy. But let's hear what it sounds like.
I wonder if Simon's bringing the milk today.
That's definitely a do you want some Cool Whip with that. Let's try and see what it sounds like in a rage voice, so angry.
I wonder if Simon's bringing the milk today.
We've also got sinister.
I wonder if Simon's bringing the milk today.
Which one do you want?
Do you only have nasty ones to choose from?
For this
I want the rage one. I want the rage one.
So the characters have only a certain amount of choices, each character.
The company Replica they've added about 10 voices in the last couple of 3 months. They are constantly adding more. They're even auditioning voice actors, literally, for people to get in touch who've got a good speaking voice to record the phonemes necessary in the styles necessary to make new AI voices. And there's a little trick that I haven't mentioned yet, but you can also record your own voice and train it to actually be used as an artificial voice. So you can do it with your voice, and it is free.
So that means we could run office hours without actually being here then?
Yep. What you can't do, though, is do it off spec yet. You can't, for example, type in the chat and then your voice would speak it. It has to be recorded as MP3 or OGG or WAV file audio and treated in that sense at this stage. But the integration looks likely to happen because they seem to have the backup of some other 3D companies, Reallusion, who make Character Creator 3, have integrated this voice system into some of their products so that you can use these voices and their avatars can actually be created with full facial animations synced to these words. And I think if I can find it, I should be able to show you an example video of that before we finish. It's another short one. However, let's pursue this. So we now need somebody to respond. Now, Major Ham has just wondered if Simon's going to bring the milk today. What a coincidence it would be if Simon actually was standing at the door, the entrance door to where Major Ham is, and he was actually bringing the milk, and Major Ham had left the door open. So Simon can just shout into Ham because he overheard what was said. What would you say?
Is he a character?
No, I'm not a character. That's the thing.
Okay, yeah, good one. So Captain Braddikins, you've just heard Major Ham in his house say, I wonder if Simon's bringing the milk today. He's left the door open. You're calling out to him, I'm not Simon, or something like that. What would you say to him when he's worrying about whether Simon's bringing the milk?
He dropped it off on the doorstep, but I already drunk it when I came in, so there's no milk left.
Thank you, Brad. Brad, is that okay? Should we do that? Type in there what you want to say.
There's nothing left of the milk.
There's nothing left of the milk. Let's hear that. You can say it in a cynical voice, angry, or battle. Let's go with angry first.
There's nothing left of the milk.
Okay.
Does the exclamation mark change the tone?
Let's find out.
There's nothing left of the milk.
Not really. I think it should, but it doesn't appear to. Let's try it with a question mark.
There's nothing left of the milk.
Right. No, it doesn't appear to. But you will notice there that what I mentioned earlier, that it's not always getting right. There's nothing left of the milk as a question would really be said. There's nothing left of the milk. Otherwise, the intonation turns it into a statement when you say there's nothing left of the milk. And notice again, question up at the end and a statement down at the end. And that pattern follows through all of these. And that's the improvement they need to make, with the exception, like there would be an asterisk here to say, read some notes later in the book. I'll come to this point shortly if we don't run out of time. So that's what... do we want it in that voice? Do we want it in the battle voice, which is?
There's nothing left of the milk.
Yeah, I like that.
Shouty and then cynical.
There's nothing left of the milk.
Battle, I say.
I think the battle. Although I'm not sure the two, what's just been said is connected. So now, Ham, you've got to respond. Do you understand what the captain just said, or are you confused? How would you respond to him? It's trespassing, firstly, if he's just poking his head in the door without being invited. Any suggestions?
Well, who's had the milk then?
Okay.
Oh, he voiced done. Don't tell me you drank the milk. I think it's his character.
That should be a question. We'll see if it makes any difference on this. So the voice now, do we want it in a hatred fashion, a ragey fashion, or a sinister fashion? Probably rage, do you think?
Yeah.
Try that.
Don't tell me you drank the milk.
Okay. We need to introduce the showgirl. So what Captain Braddikins could reply with is, yes, I did, but I brought you a showgirl and introduce Angelina Bolero, whatever her name was. So, Captain Braddikins, what are you going to say? Any suggestions?
What you just said.
Okay.
I can't remember exactly what it was, but it sounded good.
Yes, I did. But I also brought you a showgirl. Never mind the milk. Look at this. Well, which one? The one I've put? Why, yes, I did, but I also brought you a showgirl, or never mind the milk. Look at this.
Yeah, that sounds good. Never mind the milk. Look at this.
I'll spell it. Okay.
No, you wrote A1.
Brad has it, right? Ask Valero where the milk is as he reveals the showgirl standing by his side. Let's hear what that sounds like.
Ask Bolero where the milk is.
Or battle. This could be the shouty one again.
Ask Bolero where the milk is.
Or cynical, wasn't it, the other one? There.
Ask Bolero where the milk is.
Oh, we might have done that one. Angry then.
Ask Bolero where the milk is.
We'd have to add that sound effect.
I think it's the cynical one.
The cynical. We want cynical, all right?
Ask Bolero where the milk is.
Right. So, what happens? Does this Bolero speak, or does Ham ask Bolero where the milk is? Who speaks?
We're seeing as Ham's speaking a lot so far. I think Bolero.
Bring in the showgirl.
Bolero.
What's Agatha going to say? Agatha Bolero, what do you say after being introduced as, well, ask Bolero where the milk is? Not even a Christian name there. Quite sinister, Captain.
Can you make it like scream? Can you make her scream something?
Kind of, but you have to. Let's just try arg. And sometimes that do the trick in some programs. But it didn't. It has limits. You get the script recorded afterwards. So Cindy's on the phone. Okay. Don't ask me. I'm on the phone. Whoops.
Yeah, I think you're going to have to speed up a bit because it's like 7 minutes to the hour.
Yeah.
Don't ask me. I'm on the phone.
Okay. Now we need to bring Mimi in. You can Mimi, if Madam Mimi says, what can Madam Mimi says? Don't ask me, I'm on the phone. Ask me. I already know because I saw it in my tea leaves. She's clairvoyant. There we go. No, there we see what she says.
Mimi put higher a maid and milks on the floor.
I already know cause I saw it in my tea leaves.
You need to hire a maid because the milk's all over the floor. Okay.
You put main. You put main instead of maid.
Hire a maid. See what that sounds like?
Ask me? I already know cause I saw it in my tea leaves. You need to hire a maid cause the milk's all over the floor.
No other accents there. And finally, if I can just speak for Ham.
Say that again, Lars.
I'm just going to speak for Ham and finish off.
Well, bugger.
There we go. So now we've got this put together as separate items. Let's hear it. It's not going to take long to play the whole thing, but let's hear the whole thing by pressing play at the bottom. When I get it back to the beginning. So there we go.
I wonder if Simon's bringing the milk today.
There's nothing left of the milk.
Don't tell me you drank the milk.
Ask Bolero where the milk is.
Don't ask me, I'm on the phone.
Ask me? I already know cause I saw it in my tea leaves. You need to hire a maid cause the milk's all over the floor.
Well, bugger.
There we go. That concludes the first episode of the Sinespace soap opera show.
It's very good though. I can see how you can use this. I've been looking for this for several projects, mainly computer voices. You know, when it's a real female voice, but you want it to be a computer. I think this would be brilliant for it. Yeah.
Let's just try and cram a few more bits in. So let's take one phrase here. Let's say we don't like that. We can direct it. This is where we can edit certain characteristics, where you can get creative. So there's nothing left of the milk. We can play it or we can create a take, but we can select certain words. We want that to go upwards to make it sound like a question. So what we can do is change the pitch and push the pitch up a bit to lift the voice. Now let's hear it.
There's nothing left of the milk.
Did you see how that altered it from the original take? And just diverting to the chat, yes, you are right, Cast, and I did want to bring the script up and talk about that as well. And they do have vastly different pricing structures, but I've also played around with that, and it's a worthwhile comparison to Replica. We could always cover some of that next week. It looks like we might overflow on this anyway. But let's just get back.
Is the script more expensive than what you were saying? Sounds like.
I like $25 a month, regardless of membership, I think.
So you can't get 30 minutes or anything with the script.
You can buy minutes with Replica when you need them. So if you think of a voice studio or somebody who needs to employ voice actors, they're going to pay £100, £200 plus easily for a voice actor to come in for a day's work. If you get in a named actor, the sky's the limit, thousands. With this, you get 4 hours worth for giving them $26. Now, if you're in the business and you need to do this, this makes it really cost effective, as long as you don't need absolutely brilliant spot on acting and tones. But as we're in this part here, you can see how we can alter things. So we could, for example, if we needed a pause, we could go there and put a silence in and make it a little bit longer. There's 160 millisecond silence between nothing and left. Let's see what difference it makes.
There's nothing left of the milk.
Not much, but you can see how you would extend that and then it would be longer. So let's just hover on there.
So you've got speed as well, and volume and pitch. That's quite handy. I was going to ask you about that. So, because I noticed a couple that you did earlier, they would have been better if they were just slightly faster and they sounded unnatural at the speed that they were going at. So that was, yeah, it's cool they've got all that.
Let's change there's nothing to have a very much slower speech rate. take it down by about 1%. No, sorry, about 0.84. So that's about 20% ish. Let's play that.
There's nothing left of the milk.
So distinctly there, you could hear the speed change on There's Nothing, then the nearly a second pause, then left of the milk. We seem to have lost the upward trend on the pitch for milk. I'm just going to edit that and take it up some more to about 20%-ish. Play that.
There's nothing left of the milk.
Too exaggerated, but you get the point. We could also play around and make one word in one style if there's a style available. But that would be the angry style, and we can then just change of the milk to a different style and make that the shouty one. This could make what he's saying sound completely different. Let's hear it.
There's nothing left of the milk.
Not an awful lot, and I don't know if it did the style. It didn't seem to. Maybe it changed everything. Oh. Angry.
There's nothing left of the milk.
Yeah, I don't think the style is affecting individual words. You changed the whole lot, I would imagine. And then play it.
There's nothing left of the milk.
Yeah, so they haven't got quite as much flexibility in as I thought they had, but you get the idea. You can play around with quite a lot to alter the way the sentence is said. And it's going to depend on how you select which parts of the words, the letters, the phonemes, or the component parts of it to make it do that. When you're happy with that, you can create a take. It'll create multiple takes. Once you've finished and you've got a take, here's one I prepared earlier, you can then download it as a WAV file, an MP3, an OGG, or a FLAC file. For Unity, you'd use an OGG file because that's the one that's most optimized for Sinespace and Unity use generally. They're smaller files. And the if you install the free Unity plugin, that actually installs a new menu on this download thing here that instead of saying download, it says transfer to Unity project, and it will directly send the file to the Unity asset designated. Although you can do that manually anyway by simply downloading MP3 and moving it in. So there's obviously a lot more I can go into. There's APIs, so you can integrate this into your own stuff. But we'll cover that on another occasion. Hopefully this has been entertaining, that you've learned something from it. And we're not too bad finishing 2 minutes after the hour. There we go. That's an introduction to Replica. Do use your link earlier, which is going to go through there again. There. And have a play with it yourself. And we can resume this topic next week and have a play around and a recap. Talk about it at Community Hour tomorrow, which is where we hope we'll see you next. On that note, I'm going to shut down the screen and leave Simon to say good night. Thanks, folks. See you again.
Night. Thanks. That was fun.
Night,
Has
everybody.
potential.